This is the Mac and Allen production promotion this weekend. Of course, you are the Richard Allen. He is the Joe Mac, and it is the Silver Coast Beer Festival. Oh, Joe Mac's here as well. That's fantastic. We'll chat with him. Let's bring him onto the screen in just a moment as well. Yay, Joe! Actually, let's bring him onto the screen now. We'll come back to the roster. Morning to you, Joe Mac.
Hello, gentlemen. Good morning.
Good morning to you. How are you at this early hour? I know you prefer, I think, probably a later hour of the day, Joe.
Later is better, but I'm here, so I'm going to do my best to be absolutely present.
Top man. Thank you very much for that. Now, what a great idea. This is the latest in a long line of brilliant presentations from you both. A lot of them up at Arcasane Capaliera, the
Yes.
venue up there that has been so welcoming to the Communities Unite initiative. This is a real, what would you call it? A climax upon recent gigs. You've turned it from a gig with food, a barbecue, into a full-on beer festival. Who's responsible for that? Who can answer that question?
I think.
Well, I think we both kind of put a lot of work into this. I knew that. I'm from California originally, so and I worked for years in the festival circuit, running stages. So I've probably set up, I don't know, 30 or 40 beer festivals over my day, but not at this level, not at the administrative level, but at the tech level. So it just seemed like that was an obvious gap in the culture scene here, is something like a beer festival. I mean, I always thought that they were the most fun little neighborhood festivals. So
yeah, absolutely brilliant. And the latest in a long line of brilliant gigs from Communities Unite. We should talk about that. I'll come back to you, Richard, for that, because we spoke, didn't we? And I wrote an article in the Portugal Resident about Communities Unite because it's such a good idea. It was a way to bring together local Portuguese people with expat, foreign, immigrant community over music, or dancing and listening to music and eating food. Tell us a bit more about that, Richard.
Yeah, well, I think that's probably where this whole thing started. I originally met Joe at the Duke Joint, which is a sort of free musical experience thing that people can just join in, come up and play. And that started down the road, really, from where I live in Óbidos, just outside Óbidos. And then I met Joe there, and then I don't really know. The rest of it seems a bit of a blur. I don't know what Joe will say, but I think we did our first Communities Unite in February this year. It seems like about 2 years ago, but it was this year. It was incredibly well attended when we didn't expect many people at start, and really pinnacled through the summer when we had the Pickles, a Beatles tribute band on, and we had about 450 to that particular event. Beautiful sunny day. And since then, it's just got better and better. And even over the winter, even the last one we did, we're still 200 people, at these events. And it's wonderful. And then, like Joe says, he's run on the technical side beer festivals before. I've actually ran a beer festival for 10 years back in the UK. And this year, what happened was Joe brought his band over. I did the same. So while running it, we both played there. And I think then really the idea just sort of came out to say, well, we should do this in Portugal. Why don't we do this where we are? It's a different format. We've got producers, different brewers, artisan brewers. Joe will tell you about the arts and crafts and everything, but we've got 5 different beer providers. It's over 2 days. There's going to be lots of music, lots of arts, crafts, things like that, and lots of food. So I don't know if we're mad. I'm not really sure. I don't know if we'll...
Ambitious, I think, is the word, Rich.
Joe just keep correcting me on these words. We're ambitious. That's exactly what we are. And we're having fun doing it. It's pretty stressful from time to time on the first thing that you do, because of course you don't know how many people are actually going to turn up. So,
that's right.
And that's what it's all about for us. We need to just get the word out as much as we can, and hopefully this will help too, Carl. And you've always been very helpful.
Yeah, and then that's the message I want to send out to people. It's like, it's no good saying, oh, that looks good, and not going. for these
Absolutely.
events, yeah, for these events to take off and to be regular things in our country, in our neighborhood, at any level. You have to go to them, you have to support them, don't you? And let's give you more reasons why you should support this amazing gig, and come back to Joe, as you said, Richard, on what's available. It's not just the music. I think we'll come back to
let me say this about this thing about us being mad is that I don't think as far as a business model, ours is particularly great because I realized over the past couple days that in order to, we've got 10 bands on this festival over 2 days. And as you know, one of our big points of Communities Unite is that we make sure if you work with us, you get what you deserve. We try to treat everybody with the exact same level of respect. Never try to lowball or shortchange anybody, just so that we can continue to have great success and continue to make great communities with bands and musicians and promoters and everybody. That being said, to cover the expense of all of our music, we're going to need about 350 people each day.
Yep.
And that's just to break even on the music side of things. So, you know, again, the business model isn't fantastic, but the quality of the festival, I think, it is going to be fantastic. I mean, that's the point. I mean, we kind of decided, what is it about? It's not really about making money. It's about throwing the best beer festival that we can.
Yes.
And to me, that means, you know, we've got 2 stages. We've got things going on all day, all night. We've got a DJ at the end of the night for the late night crowd. Of course, we've got the artisanal Christmas market. We've got 3 food carts, so that will be really fun. I'm looking forward. It's another thing I've been missing since I've been in the Silver Coast, is kind of a food cart culture. Yes. And I know Pedro was starting that over at Pit Stop, but since Pit Stop is not, you know, really functioning like it was, I think it's nice to be able to have a little home for this food cart culture, at least for the weekend.
Absolutely. Well, for those of you who didn't get a chance to try the food of Soul Finesse, that's Bev and Dan. You can do that this weekend, because they're going to be. I mean, that's the horrible news, isn't it, about Pit Stop? It doesn't look like it's going to be functioning as it was. And Soul Finesse, I know for sure, were without a home as a result. Thankfully, they have a home this Friday and Saturday, so you can try their excellent food, which I have and greatly enjoyed. Tell us about Boa Vista Pizza. Are those the guys that are on the Boa Vista that looks out to the Atlantic?
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Wood-fired pizza then as well.
Fired pizza. So looking forward to that. They actually, when I first went to Pit Stop, they were there. And yeah, really like the people, really like the pizza. So that'll be a fun one.
And Rex Press Curry, curry too.
Curry, we'll see how that works out. We're gonna leave that one a bit ambiguous, I think, for the moment.
Right, fair enough. And tell us about the beers then. So who among local producers do you have there? Because Caldash is distinguishing itself as a bit of an area of craft beer production, isn't it? Who's going to be there from Caldash on the Silver Coast?
We've got of course the Bordello boys. You couldn't have a beer festival without those. We've also got Malika, Joao from Malika, making extremely good beer at, from the pub as well. We've got Ansem, James coming down from near Lorigna to come, and he's going to have quite a number of beers and be able to swap them over during the festival. So that will be, and I think we've got everything from a mild to a bitter to an IPA to a, so I think he's got some great beers too. The strong stuff will probably be on the Bordello stand. So if you want a stronger one, head to there. Yeah, and we've also got a selection of Belgian beers
too, aren't they?
Yeah, Belgian beers are coming. We're going to have, I think, over 10 different bottled Belgian beers, and then also we're going to have we've got Cinque Mayo and Hopsin doing a stand together, and they're from obviously near Lisbon down the road.
Fabulous, fabulous. Tell us about the bands now, then, because you'll both be playing, won't you? Joe,
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll
who's going to
both
be
be
on
well.
Friday?
It's almost a question of who isn't playing. The only person that this is like my dream lineup, really. The only person I wish I could have booked on this is my dear friend Nelson Rodriguez, who has always been a good supporter of Communities Unite. Just a cool dude, but he's booked up both days, so he's the one little piece of the puzzle that is missing. Other than that, I think I've just about got everybody that I love to work with. So
fantastic. That's a dream
and
ticket.
we ran some polls on Facebook to see who people wanted to see at our best of Communities Unite lineup. And Rich, I think we've got everybody that they asked for.
Yeah, I think
except for the
you're
Peoples.
absolutely right. I think there was two probably that we didn't get. The Peakles, the Beatles tribute band, they were signed up to do it, but they couldn't do it because the bass player's wife's expecting a baby,
That's
so they
right.
don't want to be too far away from Lisbon. So that's of course fair enough. You know, life comes first. And as Joe said, Nelson. But apart from that, you've got the Bluesberries, Wildflowers, the Booze Brothers, Brazza Duo. You've got Rick Gonzalez, Alan, lots of individual acts as well. So, I
Brandy
mean,
doing a solo
Jess,
set,
got Jess as well.
Brother
So,
Duo, great Brazilian music. So basically the idea is that in the morning and in the evening is going to be a small acoustic stage, kind of a singer-songwriter feel.
Yep.
And that'll all be going on inside the gymnasium. And then from about, I don't know, 3 to 7 in the afternoon is we open up the outdoor stage. That's the Communities Unite stage, where we've got the full-on rock bands, the Vintage Vinyls and the Bluesberries and these bands, Wildflowers and everybody. So,
Terrific.
yeah, we're definitely creating two like completely different vibes. You know, the vibe inside, it's going to be music you can talk over, and a lot of seating and tables, and honestly trying to create a nice beer fest atmosphere, a place where people want to sit and talk to each other, want to talk about the beers. And then the outdoors will be, you know, what you've come to know and expect from Communities Unite.
Wonderful. And something for. I mean, that's the message I'm getting here. There's something for everybody to enjoy this Friday.
That's what we're trying for.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, and in the evenings, probably starting after, let's say 9 or 10 or so, we're going to switch to a bit more of a Portuguese vibe. We'll have DJ Stray Cat. And we'll have Brandy, who does stuff in Portuguese. We'll have Brazza Duo, who's singing Portuguese. So the idea is that when the expat crowd or whoever comes at the afternoon to see, but as we know of working in Portugal, the Portuguese really like to come late. They don't like to come before 11. So we are trying to cater to that vibe as well. I don't know how we're going to be looking after.
Superb. Richard, how are you making a thumbs up appear on your screen like that?
I've got absolutely no idea. I'm not even touching my phone.
Well done.
It's probably everything that's coming out of me from Lisbon and the weekend, and it's just doing it on its own. It should really be like this. I'm not sure about this, but I think maybe my wife's just gone on air and put a thumbs up over my face or something, so just to make me look popular.
It'll be AI. Just blame it on AI. Well,
Carl, sorry to interrupt. Just a little word as well about our sort of rationale about Communities Unite involved with this as well was because, of course, they are two different things. But Communities Unite runs on the first Sunday of every month, and we just thought about doing the whole thing over 3 days, and we thought that would be a step too far for everybody to commit for 3 days running at a beer festival. So we made it the 2, but then have kept the Communities Unite bit in the outer building, which most people will know. There's a large building. The sides can go up, so it can be open air in the afternoons, and it can be closed up in the evenings or in bad weather. And then what we wanted to do, of course, is the Communities Unite people and treat the bands fairly still. So the idea was that although we won't be doing the churrascaria on this one. What we will be doing is the entrance fees from those on those days will go to pay the Communities Unite bands as well, and we
Fantastic.
will select some other charity or charities to make donations to, as we always do. So so that's still there. That's still very much there and still very much part of what we're doing.
I think anyone who knows anything about music or is a musician will really appreciate that. You know, what you see on your screen is not a couple of breadheads who are exploiting everybody for to line their own pockets and run off to. Well, you are going to be running off to the Far East soon, Joe, man. That's another matter we'll talk about in a moment. But this is not about, as you said before, this is not about the money, is it? This is about creating a great time for people, and it has to wash its face somehow. And musicians should be paid, quite rightly, and they will be. And the idea, of course, is to get it financially sustainable, so we can have another one hopefully next year,
That's
right?
exactly what we're trying to do. That's our biggest goal.
Dead on, and I think it should also, we should really ought to stress this, that the food vendors and the beer vendors are only paying €50 to be on site, and that's including power, which we're all going to put in. That's going to be over the next few days, and all the arts and crafts people are exhibiting for free. There'll be no charge for them whatsoever.
How wonderful!
And it should be said, if
Community
anybody
event.
wants to come along and exhibit some art or Christmas bits and pieces, all they've got to do is show up at 11 o'clock on Friday morning, and we'll get them a little table. Well, hopefully they'll bring their own table and set up.
That's right.
And we'll give them space in the room.
So with all this, with so much going on, a bit of Christmas shopping, lots of lovely food, so many beers, and an amazing lineup of music, you're going to be thinking to yourself, well, that's got to be €99 for the weekend, isn't it? You know, Glastonbury sort of prices. How much is it going to cost people to get in?
300 each.
He's joking, everybody.
No, it's got a 3 in it anyway, but there's no zeros, so it's €3. That's it.
What? Okay, €3 in. All right, amazing.
And you get a wristband too. It's
what?
amazing.
Okay, €3 entry then for all of that. That is absolutely incredible. Communities Unite. I think our mate Nunu Mendes from Winsurance, he's involved with that as well. Is he going to be there this weekend?
Yeah, he's going to be there, and they'll be represented. It's a good point as well, though, Carl, is we are still looking for sponsors to help us out. So if there is anybody out there, no matter how small, would like to put them out in and have a sign up or some whatever they want to do, attend the show, they'll obviously be able to do all of that. We'd love some more support with sponsors if we could possibly get them.
Yeah, well, I was asking the question earlier this morning about which political party supports the needs, aspirations, and so on of expat, foreigner, immigrant community in this country. Sounds like a music party. Sounds like a Communities Unite party. might be the way forward here. And it is a serious request here. If you are a sponsor, if you're a company or a benefactor that wants to see this work, because
and wants to see it be sustainable and wants to see it come back, because I mean, obviously, if we do lose our shirts on this one, it's going to be a lot harder to want to conceptualize doing it again.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right.
It's
a great opportunity to support a true community initiative that's uniting local people and foreigners on the Silver Coast, and just basically fostering understanding, connection, all under the umbrella of music, food, and beer. What could be better than that? I want to talk to you both about your individual contributions to music, the music scene locally. Richard, you appear in a number of bands, don't you? Tell us about the bands that you appear in.
Yeah, I'm in far less than Joe's in. That's a fact. But I've got two bands. One is the Booze Brothers, which I think we've spoke about before. Started as a one-off New Year's party here at the house, and has ended up playing in Lisbon and all over the place, which I enjoy and love very, very much. But that's a 7-piece band. And then more recently, I've been involved with Joe directly, actually, Sven and Alain, that wonderful French guitarist, in a band called the Four Horsemen. We bring the apocalypse to any party.
in a good way.
And yeah, no, we've had quite a few bookings now, and we're a fun band, and I love that very, very much. I have to say, I think all the guys do, and we have a good
Mhm,
laugh with it, and I think that's what
mhm.
it's all about. So yeah, having great fun at the minute, and getting lots of gigs. So that's lovely.
That's a party band then. So, I mean, let's face it, a lot of the foreigners, expats, immigrants over here on the Silver Coast are from time to time celebrating a notable birthday. So if they want to do that with a full-on party band, you're the guys to hire for that one, are
Oh,
you?
100% we are.
We get
Yes,
them dancing.
100%.
A party to remember.
Oh
Okay.
yeah,
That's
you'll definitely
right.
remember it. Yeah, we'll bring you a party apocalypse.
Brilliant. And you, Joe, we've got Natasha down. Her name is on the screen there. You're, of course, of the Wildflowers.
That's
We
right.
play some music on the show here. We were delighted to debut the most recent single, which we absolutely
Absolutely. You've always been good supporters, and we
love.
appreciate that.
Keep them
As
coming.
you
Keep them
mentioned
coming.
before, we're about to embark on our third tour in what, 1 year? 2 years as a band? As our third tour.
Morning, Natasha.
So
Good morning. I'm not dressed
Natasha,
yet.
stop hiding round the corner and get on the screen.
by the way, Carl, we need to get Natasha on here because she is our chief of games department for the
Oh, right.
for the beer festival. So she's got a million different game ideas coming up, a chili eating contest and all
Yeah,
kinds
I
of stuff.
just got home from the UK yesterday, so I'm on grandmother duty. I'm not quite in. I don't think you want any of those games.
They
But,
sound interchangeable to me.
Maybe could be suitable. But yeah,
So is there a games area then? The weekend?
I love a pasta parcel with forfeits. So each layer is going to reveal an interesting forfeit that might be linked to another one.
This weekend?
Yes.
Wow, so there's a games area as well where people can drink beer and play party games. What could possibly go wrong?
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I was thinking it would be fun to do some beer drinking games. I've just been talking to my nephew who's been doing rugby initiation. I don't think that's a good idea. The beers to be respected on this occasion. It's going to be tasty beer. So no, it will be
very good. Is that
non-messy.
Saturday afternoon? Is that Saturday afternoon or both days?
Both days.
Both days. Hopefully we'll have a quiz both days. We're going to do a meet the brewers so we can learn a little bit about their the different beers, and then have a blind taste every day and a vote for your favorite.
Superb.
And this is a good time to ask Carl what exactly his participation is going to be over the weekend.
Drinking beer at the very least.
At the very least. Are you interested in helping with the interview the brewers in a Meet the Brewers kind of segment?
You know I am. So I'll see
I know
you there.
you are.
Fantastic.